In a land where cloth was currency, one weaver's gift became her curse until she spun a tapestry that would rewrite her fate. In the kingdom of Adinkra, where cloth was more precious than gold, there lived a young weaver named Adoma. Her fingers danced across the loom as if guided by the gods themselves, spinning threads into tapestries that shimmered with hidden meanings. The villagers whispered that her patterns held ancient wisdom, geometric symbols that foretold droughts, warned of floods, or revealed a person's true heart. Adoma's greatest treasure was her mother's golden thread, spun from the rare silk of forest spiders. Use this only when your soul sings its truest song, her dying mother had whispered. For years, the thread remained untouched in a carved mahogany box, waiting for its moment. One market day, as Adoma wove a simple kente cloth, the king's procession arrived. Chief Osi, resplendent in flawed imported silk, stopped abruptly before her stall. His eyes widened as he recognized the Sankofa symbol in her work, the mythical bird looking backward while moving forward. "Who taught you royal patterns?" he demanded, his voice thick with suspicion. "They come to me in dreams, Great One," Adoma bowed. The king's advisor leaned close, noting the perfect tension of her warped threads. "This is no ordinary weaver," he murmured. That night, royal guards arrived with a proclamation Adoma would create the king's jubilee cloth or face imprisonment for using sacred symbols. As they dragged her loom to the palace, the mahogany box trembled in Adoma's hands. She knew her life would never be the same. The palace looms cast long shadows over Adoma as she worked in a sunlit courtyard, her new golden thread glinting like captured sunlight. King Osi visited daily, obsessed with watching her transform his mediocre ideas into breathtaking designs. "Weave my victory over the Ashanti," he demanded. Adoma bowed her head, secretly embedding tiny Naimdua symbols, prayers for peace between the war scenes. The king's senior weaver, Amma, watched with growing resentment. Once the palace favorite, she now found her coarse tapestries relegated to the servants' quarters. "That village which steals our king's eye with devil magic," she hissed to the other artisans. They noticed how birds would gather when Adoma sang to her loom, how her threads never tangled. On the eve of the jubilee, Amma crept into the courtyard with a jar of ink. As midnight bells tolled, she poured it across Adoma's nearly finished cloth, destroying 6 moons of work. The next morning, the king roared at the ruined tapestry. "You insult my reign with this filth?" Adoma fell to her knees, noticing Amma's ink-stained hem. "Great One, this was no accident," but Hosi silenced her with a raised hand. "You will rewave this in 3 days," he decreed, "or hang as a warning to ambitious peasants." Adoma's fingers bled as she worked day and night, her remaining golden thread barely enough to salvage the king's cloth. On the 3rd morning, she presented her tapestry, a compromised version with blurred patterns where ink had stained. The king's nostrils flared as he examined it. "Where is the grandeur I demanded? This is fit for a beggar." He tore the cloth violently, golden thread snapping like fragile hopes. As guards dragged Adoma to the stocks, Amma stepped forward holding a flawless tapestry, the very design Adoma had originally planned. "I finished what the girl could not," she lied smoothly. The villagers gasped as Adoma's head was shaved, her weaver's mark burned away with a hot iron. "Let all see what becomes of those who deceive their king," Kosei proclaimed. Cast out with only her empty mahogany box, Adoma wandered into the forest. There, an old spider descended on a silken thread, whispering in a voice like rustling leaves, "The web's true strength lies not in its threads, but in the spaces between." As dawn broke, Adoma glimpsed a grove of spider silk trees and understood. Months later, King Osi hosted a grand feast wearing Amma's stolen tapestry. But as wine flowed, guests began whispering the cloth's dyes were bleeding, revealing hidden Kadinkra symbols beneath. "See how the Aya fern pattern emerges," cried a visiting chief. "This praises perseverance, not conquest." The king ripped at the fabric, exposing more truths and Ansantantan spiders symbolizing cunning, Izni Takrama, teeth of justice. Amma tried to flee, but the king's advisor intercepted her. "Only one weaver uses these layered meanings," he said, holding up her ink-stained sandal found beside the ruined loom. As guards arrested Amma, the advisor pressed on. "Great One, Adoma's original tapestry foretold this. Its Mabin gates warned of deception." Meanwhile, deep in the forest, Adoma wove a new cloth from spider silk, her bare scalp gleaming in dappled light. The patterns told her own story: humiliation, enlightenment, rebirth. When royal messengers finally found her, they fell silent before her creation, a tapestry that made truth visible to even the blindest eyes. Adoma returned to a humbled King Osi, who knelt before her spider silk tapestry. "These symbols, they show my own pride as the enemy," he murmured, tracing the Falkari independence motif woven beside his likeness. "Will you teach us true craftsmanship, wise one?" Adoma smiled, her shorn hair now crowned with silver threads. "Not craftsmanship, integrity. The loom reveals what the heart conceals." She established a weaving school where nobles and peasants learned side by side. Amma, spared execution at Adoma's request, became her most devoted student. Years later, when Adoma wove her final tapestry using the last golden thread, the entire kingdom watched. As she collapsed, the cloth rose unaided, a radiant map of Adinkra symbols that still hangs in the royal hall, guiding rulers to this day. Elders say Adoma's spirit lives in every spider's web, catching sunlight to remind us even broken threads can weave destiny.